An emotional, illuminating, and at times, frankly, infuriating hearing on Capitol Hill today, focusing on the chaotic U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021. CNN's Kylie Atwood reports for us now. A U.S. Marine who was wounded in that horrific suicide bomb attack outside the Kabul airport testified that his unit spotted an Afghan man that they believe was the suicide bomber, spotted him ahead of time, but they could not get the authority to engage.
My body was overwhelmed from the trauma of the blast. My abdomen had been ripped open. Every inch of my exposed body, except for my face, took ball bearings and shrapnel.
U.S. Marine Corps Sergeant Tyler Vargas Andrews is now a double amputee. He was one of the 35 service members injured when a suicide bomber attacked Kabul as the United States was withdrawing from the country. 13 service members died that day.
There was an inexcusable lack of accountability and negligence. The 11 Marines, 1 sailor, and 1 soldier that were murdered that day have not been answered for.
The 25-year-old shared his story with the House Foreign Affairs Committee as they investigate the chaotic and bloody U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. Hours before the attack, Vargas Andrews used his sniper gun to spot a man in the crowd of thousands who looked like the suicide bomber that intelligence officials had warned was in the vicinity. He showed the man to his team leader.
We asked him if we could shoot. Our battalion commander said, and I quote, "I don't know," end quote. Myself and my team leader asked very harshly, "Well, who does? Because this is your responsibility, sir." He again replied he did not know, but would find out.
Vargas Andrews never got an answer. He told lawmakers that the Navy and the FBI failed to interview him about his experience.
Plain and simple, we were ignored. Our expertise was disregarded. No one was held accountable for our safety.
He's not the only U.S. service member who is haunted by the memories of that day. Here is former combat medic Aiden Gunderson.
Screams from little children, women, and grown men echoed in the tight corridor. Marines and corpsmen around me fought through tears to provide life-saving aid to our motionless and severely injured American brothers and sisters. Over the next hour, I tried to save the lives of countless Marines. We all tried our best. It was a nightmare.
Some witnesses blamed the Biden administration for the evacuation's failures.
Good afternoon.
Others widened the aperture.
This is not the story of a Biden failure or a Trump failure. This is a story of an American failure and the effect it has had and continues to have on Afghans who served alongside myself and so many others.
Multiple witnesses were U.S. veterans who stood up unofficial networks to help Afghans escape the country. They said they got requests from high-ranking U.S. government officials to help them get people out.
Us, private citizens, receiving requests from our own government to assist what is essentially a governmental function. It was humbling, it was terrifying, it was at times stupefying.
Now, one of those who provided testimony today, Jake, warned of a mental health tsunami for the veterans who were involved in trying to get out Afghans who they had actually worked with in Afghanistan. Just talked about how challenging that was and how hard it was on them when they weren't able to get out some of the folks that they worked with in the country. Of course, today we didn't see any Biden administration officials providing testimony, but we do expect that this committee is going to be seeking out that testimony from administration officials down the road. This is just an investigation that is only beginning, and presumably this testimony that was provided today, in addition to documents that they are trying to get from the administration, are going to be what will drive the questions for Biden administration officials when they do provide testimony. Jake?
All right, Kylie Atwood, thanks so much.